What's going on, y'all, man? Young Dame Dot, man, back with another video, man. And today, what I'm gonna be doing, man, is gonna be doing story time with you guys, just talking and stuff. You know what I'm saying? Just doing something different. Currently, it's 2:16, so I'm getting this upload for y'all before I head to work. But I just wanted to take some time out, man, just to talk to y'all, man, just to tell y'all about me. You know what I'm saying? Well, my name is Damon. You know what I'm saying? Everybody call me Dot. You know what I'm saying? I'm a young black American, African American. I'm mixed with black and white. My mom's white, my dad's black. Growing up, I didn't have the easiest childhood. I'm pretty sure I'm not the only one in America that probably didn't have the easiest childhood. But I really I kind of grew up rough and different. You know what I'm saying? Like, I was adopted at 8 months. You know what I'm saying? And I feel I owe you guys, I owe my subscribers the real me, and I don't be trying to get on this camera fake or front or anything like that. But growing up, I was adopted at 8 months. I was adopted by my granddad. My mom used to be in like abusive relationships and stuff growing up, and you know what I'm saying? And to be honest, like, I didn't know much about my mom until like I got to like about 7 or 8. I didn't know who my dad was until like I was like 12. Growing up, all I knew was my granddad at that time. You know what I'm saying? I only knew him. You know, and because he raised me, he was there for me. You know what I'm saying? I only knew that side of the family. I didn't know that I had like a humongous, big family. At a point in time I had, when I found out, you know what I'm saying, about my mom and stuff like that, I was like upset. You know what I'm saying? I was kind of like mad, and I had like aggression towards them and stuff like that for like years, because I felt like they had just threw me to the side and they didn't care about me or nothing like that. And I felt like, you know what I'm saying, like I just felt like they gave up on me and stuff like that. But like the more and more I got to know my mom and I got to talking to my mom and stuff, you know what I'm saying, like we grew closer. So I knew who my family was, and I knew like if I seen them out, I knew who they was and they would know who I was. My mom had passed away when I was 13. You know what I'm saying? Like, to this day, I don't know what the cause of the death was. She was dead. They found her in her apartment. She was dead for like 28 days. And you know what I'm saying? Like, when they told me that, I was like 13. And my dad, I didn't know who my dad was until I was like 12. You know what I'm saying? But like growing up in the community that I grew up in, the neighborhood that I grew up in, and the friends that I grew up around, I would always, and the family that I was in, I would always look at my skin tone, and I always knew I was different. Like, I always knew like why I look like this and they look like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, I always had questions about myself, like, who am I really? Like, am I really this, or am I really something else? So when my mom passed away, you know what I'm saying, like, they kind of hit me hard, because was just getting close, and they kind of like made me mad all over again, because I feel like once again she gave up on me again. But now that I'm older, I'm 26 now, and I really understand that everybody goes through something. You know what I'm saying? Like, I really understand that. So like, I'm no longer mad at her, you know. And like, I grew up, man, poverty was like hard. Like, it hit me hard growing up. Like, I didn't have certain things. I didn't have certain shoes, clothes, or I didn't have access to doing certain things that kids had around me growing up. You know what I'm saying? I would get jealous when I'd be around my friends and they had their mom and their dad and stuff like that, and I would get jealous because I always had wanted that. So fast forward, like, you know what I'm saying, after my mom passed and she got cremated and stuff, you know, and Then my dad, we took a blood test and stuff like that. We wound up getting a blood test, and I wound up finding out who he was and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, I started being around him and stuff. Like, I'm not gonna lie. Like, my first time around my dad, when he first came and got me, I had cried. I cried my eyes out. I'm 13 years old and I cried my eyes out because, once again, I'm looking like, who is this man coming to get me? Is he coming to take me from my granddad? You know what I'm saying? I love with my granddad. I love being around my granddad and stuff. And one of these days, I'm going to get my granddad in the vlog for y'all so y'all can see who he is and stuff like that. But I was wondering to myself, like, who is this man coming to get me? You know what I'm saying? Like, what is he? Is he going to hurt me? Is he taking me from you? Like, I had so many questions. And my granddad was like a stern person and stuff like that. And he would tell me, boy, be quiet. You about to go with him. I don't care what you say. You're not going to get me in trouble downtown and stuff like that. So I said, okay. So, like, I started going around him and stuff, and, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I started understanding who he was, and I started seeing, like, similarities in us and stuff like that. Like, I really didn't catch the similarities until, like, I had got older. But he was on and off around that time and stuff like that. Like I said, I was growing up. You know what I'm saying? I'm learning who I am. I really like, and for everybody out there that always feel like you don't really know yourself until you get into a rough patch in life or you go through something. And when you go through that, that's when you're going to know who you really are. So I have found out who I was. Let's see, I had my first job like when I was like 21. I was 21. I had my first job at Electro Prime. You know what I'm saying? I had a very bad weed habit. You know what I'm saying? Like, I was losing myself. You know what I'm saying? I was smoking so much and I was losing myself without even knowing it. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like anybody that's out there, man, if you got an addiction to drugs or anything like that, man, seek help. If not seek help, man, try your best to just say no, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not saying like drugs are bad or anything like that. My granddad, he's 89 years old and he smokes weed till this day. And I would never question what he does because he's 89 years old. So whatever he did to get to that point, it worked. And it's still working. You know what I'm saying? He just called me earlier today to talk to me. But growing up, you know what I'm saying? I had got my first, like, I was always like doing a little work here and there, having a little $40, $50 in my pocket and stuff like that. And you know what I'm saying? Working with my granddad and stuff. And he taught me the fundamentals about life. He taught me, man, how to be a man. He taught me what I had to do in order to take care of me. At the time, I felt like he was being hard on me. You know what I'm saying? I felt like he was just doing it out of spite. I felt like he was just doing this, that, and the third just to make me miserable. But deep down, he loved me and he was showing me right. Everything he taught me growing up, everything he said to me growing up is coming into play right now. That's why I owe that man so much respect, man. If you got a grandfather, a grandmother, you know what I'm saying, respect them with the utmost. You know what I'm saying? Like, me and my granddad relationship, it wasn't all that, but like, we was always tight. You know what I'm saying? Because we lived under the same roof until I was 22. You know, no, I take that back, until I was 23. You know what I'm saying? So you gotta respect, and that's another thing too, man. If you're in your 20s and stuff like that, it's nothing wrong with living with your parents or your grandparents, and as long as you have in your mind that you're going to get out. If you're going to get out of that situation, or if you're going to go ahead and, you know what I'm saying, like, you got plans on getting your own apartment, you got your own plans on getting your own house, you know what I'm saying, there's nothing wrong with that. But if you're complacent with what you're doing, you know what I'm saying, if you're going to be 40 years old still living with your parents, now that's a problem. You know what I'm saying? Eventually you have to get out. So I didn't graduate high school. You know what I'm saying? I didn't graduate high school. I dropped out because I was so into being a street person. You know what I'm saying? And that's another thing for my young subscribers and stuff like that, man. If y'all out here and y'all in the gang and stuff like that, hey, man, leave that alone, man. Coming from Dame, man, leave that alone, man. I did that stuff, and it's not cool. It's really not cool, you know what I'm saying? Like, I've been out here on the street. Like, don't get me wrong, the friends that I made out here in the streets, I don't regret. You know what I'm saying? Because every relationship that I made or every friendship that I made with somebody out there in the streets made me who I am today and made me understand the importance of handling your business and not bullshitting. You know what I'm saying? So I've been out there, you know what I'm saying? I've been on the block, you know what I'm saying? I've been chilling, I've been with the homies, I smoked weed, I done got drunk, you know what I'm saying? Done had all the females, I done did all that, you know what I'm saying? And it's nothing into that. So my key message to my young subscribers today, man, stay in school, graduate, go to college, and take care of you, man. Because when you take care of you, it's going to reflect on your family. Then you'll be able to provide for your family. You know what I'm saying? And at that, when I was 18, 19, and 20 and stuff like that, I wasn't thinking like that. All I was thinking about was females, getting high, and that's about it. You know what I'm saying? I wasn't even too much worried about money at the time because, and to this day, money don't make me or break me. You know what I'm saying? That's my favorite line, because once you start letting the money make you, that's when you're going to start losing yourself. You're going to start changing. You're going to start doing different stuff that you haven't been doing and stuff like that. So don't never let money make you or break you, because once you lose it, if you let money make you and you lose it, you're gonna revert back to things that you shouldn't even be doing. Like, you might rob somebody, you might start selling some, you might start doing something. You know what I'm saying? I done did that too. I done sold weed. I done did all that, man. I done been out here in these streets, man, and there's nothing out here in these streets at all. You know what I'm saying? And if you're watching this video, you made it to this point, man, you're a real person, because you understand that what I'm saying is real, man. Like I say, I don't get on this camera, I don't fake, I don't front, I don't do none of that. You know what I'm saying? Y'all gonna always get the real me. So I have I'm about like 2021. I got my first job at a factory. You know what I'm saying? And like I said, I was always doing jobs with my granddad and stuff because he had his own little construction thing. So he taught me, like, you know what I'm saying? Hey man, if you don't work, you don't eat. You know what I'm saying? So like, that's where I learned that from. And if you ain't working, you ain't eating. That's a proven fact, man. But like, at that time, I was so kid-minded. I'm 21 years old, still kid-minded. You know what I'm saying? When I'm supposed to be out here grown, doing my own thing. And some of the decisions that I made then is still reflecting me now, that I'm still taking care of, as far as like getting my license and taking care of what I need to take care of and stuff like that. So I get my first job, and I'm not even thinking about nothing else. I'm thinking about jewelry. You know what I'm saying? Like, I got jewelry now because I'm handling my business. I'm doing what I'm doing. I have my own home. You know what I'm saying? I'm not living with nobody. I'm not doing none of that. You know what I'm saying? So basically, you know what I'm saying, I'm spending my money on jewelry, earrings, and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? Getting credit bags of weed and shit like that. Like, I'm crediting myself out before I even get my money. You know what I'm saying? So by the time I get my money, it's gone, because I got to get signed to my granddad for living there. You know what I'm saying? Because now he's showing me the importance of paying bills and taking care of my own self and being able to feed my own self. You know what I'm saying? So he taught me that. But I'm also, I had a habit at that time. So fast forward, you know what I'm saying? Like, fast forward, I'm without a job. I'm 22. I'm without a job. So that's around the time that I really learned who I was and what I wanted to do and where I was going in life. I was trying my hardest to get my GED. You know what I'm saying? I was trying my hardest, but I still was stuck on smoking weed and shit like that. Like, I was really going heavy with it. Like, I felt like I couldn't function without it. So, but the older I got, I always kept a positive mind. Some people always doubted me about it. Some people always shunned me about it. Some people always thought, like, that's Damon, he got a fairy tale mind, all that. But I always had an open mind. I always loved sports. I always loved basketball. I always loved, like, you know what I'm saying, doing what makes me happy, because I know I'm going through a rough patch. And if I sit around and I think about it all the time, then I'm going to go out here and I'm going to do something that I don't want to do. You know what I'm saying? So what I did, I would always get up. You would have thought I was about to do something. I almost played professional basketball overseas. You know what I'm saying? But things start happening, and you know what I'm saying? It would start, like, what means most to me? Does waking up playing basketball every day mean something to me right now, or does it making some money mean something to me right now? Because I need money to live. This basketball stuff, if I'm still doing it, is going to happen. You know what I'm saying? So I chose to make some money. So and before I had wound up getting another job, but like, I was like 23. You You know what I'm saying? When I got my job at 23, you know what I'm saying? I'm working third shift. I'm working 12 hours and stuff like that. But before I had got that, you know what I'm saying? I was in the rough patch, man. Didn't nobody want to be around me. My friends, you know what I'm saying, didn't want to be around me. Some of my family didn't want to be around me. Females wasn't talking to me. It was a girl I was talking to for 6 years. You know what I'm saying? We was off and on and stuff like that. And she stopped talking to me too because I didn't have nothing going on for myself. I had a dog at the time, and I'm stealing from the store just to feed my dog and stuff like that. And I don't condone none of that. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, you are a product of your environment, and you have to get in how you live in order to survive out here. And I really learned how to survive. So I'm doing all that, and then I wound up meeting Precious when I was 23. I wound up meeting Precious when I was 22. The summer of the ending of the summer when I had turned 22. It was like 2016. And I met her, and you know what I'm saying, like we started vibing out the gates, like, you know what I'm saying, like I always, like, me growing up, I always had options. Like, I always had options, like, you know what I'm saying. But like when I met her, it was like she stuck out more than me than anybody, you know what I'm saying. So I started vibing with her and stuff, and then I'm like, you know what, man, I'm dealing with her, and I really like her, and I really want to show her the real me and what I can do. So I got up every day. I was like, you know what I'm saying, like, shit come get me when she get off work, and I go spend the night and stuff like that. And I would get on the phone every day. I wake up calling temp service because I'm dealing with her. I want to be able to take her out to eat. I want to be able to buy her things. I want to be able to get her things. I want to be able to spoil her because she deserves it. So like around that time, I'm like, you know what I'm saying, like, I gotta make something happen. So that's when I had wound up getting me another job at this plastic factory, this fabric/plastic factory. You know what I'm saying, working third shifts and stuff like that. 12 hour shifts, 3 days, 1 week, 4 days. It was a rotating schedule. You know what I'm saying, and she was able